The hunger is a living thing. It is a hollow beast chewing on the insides of the clan. A constant. The lake that has silenced the children's play undetched new lines onto the faces of the elders. For weeks, the rains have failed. The familiar streams are now just cracks in the baked earth. And the game has moved on, following a water that is no longer here. This small clan of Homo sapiens, part of the great, slow wave of expansion out of Africa, is stalled at the edge of the world, and the world is dying. Their survival skills, passed down from countless human ancestors, are failing them. They know how to track, how to nap flint, how to read the clouds, but they do not know how to make it rain. In the evenings, they gather around a meager fire, the silence broken only by the rasp of a dry cough or the whimper of a hungry child. But one voice rises from the quiet. It belongs to Malik. He is not the strongest hunter, nor the oldest member of the clan. His power is not in his arms, but in his throat, where the others communicate with a lexicon of grunts, gestures, and a few dozen essential words. Malik speaks in streams. He links sounds together in new and complex ways, painting pictures in the air with his voice. This is the dawn of a new kind of power in the long story of human evolution. He speaks of a place he has never seen, Bay Valley, 2 sunrises to the north, over the black Rock Hills. He does not just say good hunting. He weaves a tapestry of sensation. He speaks of grass so green it hurts the eyes, of a river that runs wide and slow, its water so sweet it makes the teeth ache. He describes the taste of ripe figs, the feeling of cool mud between the toes, the sound of antelope heard so vast they shake the ground. He is using the revolutionary to love abstract thought, creating a shared, desirable future in the minds of people who can barely endure the present. He is drawing a new cognitive map over the landscape of despair, a map that leads to a place that exists only in his words. The elders are skeptical. Their knowledge is written in the cracked earth around them. A geography of hard -1 facts to leave this known. If barren, land for a story is madness, but the younger hunters, their bellies as empty as their spears are idle. Listen with a desperate hunger. Malik's words are a feast. He speaks, and for a moment, they are not starving. They are standing in the green valley. They feel the cool water. They taste the sweet fruit. The choice becomes simple, to die slowly here with the truth, or to walk towards a beautiful lie. The next morning, they walk. The journey is a grim testament to the power of his story. The black Rock Hills are a furnace. The ground sharpened and forgiving. They have little water, and the sun is a merciless eye in a white sky. They are sustained only by the images Malik keeps painting in the air. This is a new kind of prehistoric life, a migration fueled not by instinct, but by a narrative. On the second day, they crest the final ridge. Below them lies the promised land, and it is a vision of hell. A wind-scoured, sun-blasted valley of red rock and grey dust. There is no green grass, no wide river, only a dry, snake-like wadi where water once flowed. The silence is absolute, the silence of a place where nothing lives. The clan stops, a ragged line of early humans staring into the abyss of their leader's promise. The hope that had carried them this far evaporates in the shimmering heat. This is the emotional turning point. They have traded a slow death for a fast one. They turn, their faces a mixture of disbelief and dawning rage, to look at the man who had stolen their last, precious scraps of hope with a beautiful and deadly story. The silence in the valley is the silence of a tomb, but the silence that falls upon the clan is heavier. It is thick with accusation, betrayal, and the dry, dusty taste of impending death. The hunters who had followed Malik's vision with such fervor now gripped their spears, their knuckles white. An old woman, whose child had stopped crying an hour ago from sheer exhaustion, let out a low, guttural wail of despair. This is the moment the clan could turn. The moment the storyteller could be stoned to death with the very rocks he promised would be covered in green moss. His power, so absolute just hours before, is now fragile. brittle thing. Malik stands before them, his face unreadable. He does not flinch. He does not look away. He does not admit his error. Instead, he does something extraordinary, something terrifyingly new. He begins to speak. His voice is not apologetic. It is calm, confident, imbued with a quiet power that cuts through their rising panic. He uses the most potent weapon in the arsenal of emerging behavioral modernity. He frames reality. He tells them their memories are wrong. He never promised them a valley of green grass and easy hunting. He had spoken of a test, a trial, a place where the weak spirits would be burned away by the sun and the strong would be forged anew. He uses symbolic language, transforming the barren rocks into altars, the punishing sun into a cleansing fire, and their gnawing hunger into a spiritual purification. You remember the words, he says, his voice a mesmerizing cadence, but you have forgotten the meaning. Did I not speak of a hard journey? Did I not say this path was not for the weak? He looks from face to face, his gaze lingering, creating an intimate, personal connection with each starving individual. He is not just lying, he is actively rewriting their shared past, exploiting the fallibility of human memory under conditions of extreme stress. A few of the younger hunters, the ones most devoted to his vision, nod slowly. Did he say that? The journey was hard. They are not weak. Perhaps they had misheard. Perhaps, in their hunger, they had only listened to the parts of the story they wanted to hear. This is the birth of a dark art, a manipulation that goes beyond a simple falsehood to undermine the very foundations of another's reality. An older hunter, a man named Gor, steps forward, his face a mask of anger. You spoke of water, he growls. The words crude and forceful. There is no water. Malik smiles, a slow, knowing smile. The water is not for your mouse, he says, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. It is for your spirit. We did not come here to drink. We came here to become worthy of the water that is to come. He points to a series of shallow caves carved into the far wall of the valley. The ancestors led us to this shelter. We were not brought here for a feast. We were brought here to survive. This is our true test. This is the story we will tell our children. He has corrupted the clan's social cohesion, shifting it from a bond based on shared experience to one based on fealty to his narrative. Their trust in each other is now filtered through their trust in him. They look at the caves, then at their empty hands, then back at the man who has offered them a new and powerful reason for their suffering. The lie is more comforting than the truth. The truth is that their leader is a fool who has doomed them. The lie is that they are the chosen few, enduring a sacred trial. For a people with nothing left, the choice is tragically simple. The lie does not fill their bellies. It does, however, provide a new kind of fuel, purpose, under the banner of Malik's test. The clan's desperate search for sustenance is transformed into a sacred duty. They are no longer victims of a mistake. They are acolytes in a harsh cathedral of rock. They spread out, their movements no longer sluggish with despair but driven by a frantic, zealous energy. This shift is a chilling demonstration of early behavioral modernity. The ability of a shared, abstract belief system to motivate collective action, even one built on a foundation of pure deceit. The children scrape at the dry earth, searching for edible roots. The women, their faces grim, turn over rocks, hoping for snakes or scorpions. Gor, the skeptic, works apart from the others. He does not believe in the test, but he believes in his own thirst, while the others search with a kind of frantic hope. He searches with a hunter's cold logic. He knows that in a place this dry, the only chance for water is underground. He ignores the sun blasted outer valley and moves into the relative cool of the shallow caves Malak had pointed to. The air inside is still and thick with the dust of ages. He follows the back wall, his calloused fingers tracing the cool, damp lines in the stone. His senses are tuned to the faintest hint of moisture. Deep in the third cave, in a narrow fissure hidden behind a fall of rock, he finds it. It is not a pool, not even a trickle. It is a slow, patient seep. A single drop of water forming and falling every few seconds, leaving a dark, wet stain on the rock below. He does not shout. He does not call Malak to witness a miracle. He turns and walks back to the cave mouth, finding the old woman whose child had gone limp with dehydration. He leads her and the child back into the darkness. This is an act of pure, unperformative altruism. He holds the child's head to the rock, letting the precious drops fall onto its cracked lips. The community is saved not by a story, but by the quiet, methodical application of knowledge and a simple act of care. Slowly, others are brought to the seat, a silent, reverent procession into the mountain's heart. Malak enters the cave last. After the life-giving secret is already known, he sees the clan huddled around the wet rock, their faces filled with a profound, exhausted relief. He does not join them. He stands at the entrance, a silhouette against the harsh light of the valley, and a slow, triumphant smile spreads across his face. When he speaks, his voice fills the small space, turning their quiet moment of relief into a public spectacle. "You say," he booms, his voice echoing off the stone. "The ancestors reward the faithful. You endured the sun, you passed the test, and now, the rock gives you its blood to drink." He creates a simple, rhythmic chant, a story in 3 beats: sun, stone, water. He pounds his chest with each word: sun, stone, water. It is a powerful mnemonic device, a tool to permanently lock his narrative into their minds. The real sequence of events, his failure, their desperation, Goar's discovery, the quiet act of sharing, is erased. It is replaced by Malak's story. The survivors, their thirst quenched but their minds still reeling, begin to hesitantly join the chant. Sun, stone, water, they are alive. But they have traded their shared reality for a shared myth. They have found their shelter. But it is a shelter built on a lie, and its architect is now the unquestioned master of their souls. In the call of the cave, the chant echoes. They survived, but the cost of this survival is a fundamental shift in the nature of their humanity. The tools that had ensured their lineage for 1,000,000 years, keen observation, shared knowledge, trust earned through competence, have been subverted by a new and far more potent force: the power of a charismatic narrative. Malak did not find the water, but he owns the story of the water, and therefore he owns the future. This is a terrifying, unpivotal moment in the epic of human evolution. It is the birth of a uniquely human vulnerability, our susceptibility to a well-minded told lie, especially when that lie gives meaning to our suffering. The ability to cooperate through shared fictions is what would eventually allow Homo sapiens to build cities, create laws, and dominate the planet. But the story of Malak's Valley is a chilling reminder of the dark side of that same gift. It shows us that the first chains of tyranny were not forged from iron. They were forged from perfectly chosen words. We look back at this small, thirsty clan, and we must ask ourselves a deeply unsettling question. Is the truth a tool for survival, or is it merely the first casualty of the need to believe? History is not what happened. It is the story that survives. And sometimes, the story is a weapon.